cravings, anger, can't sleep, lack of focus, can't find the point in life, and you might be tired and exhausted. These are definitely some of the things that you're going to come across when you're stopping drinking. I know because I did, and I want to help you out. So recently I just started to read through the pages in my journal, and I stumbled across the early days of my sobriety. And it actually came to me, I never made a video about the early days. I always made videos about the big picture, but not the first couple of months. It actually gets like a lot easier after 6 months, so I don't know why I haven't made this video before, but here it is. And as usual, I made like a list of things from my journal that you are going to come across, so here they are. So let's start with the first thing I wrote down in my journal. I think it was like the second day, and it was cravings. Those cravings. I hated them so much. They came at such random times, and as time progressed, they went even like more progressive and intense. So yes, this was really annoying. What added fuel to the fire was that I was still smoking at that time, like smoking cigarettes, and that was not a good thing. People might know who are smokers. Every time you smoke, you want to drink, and vice versa. So in my mind, it was like a vicious cycle that just didn't want to end. But fortunately, it did, and let me tell you how. So first of all, at the end of my second night of my sobriety, I started to write things down that actually made me crave this alcohol. And for me, it was basically everything, because all my life was entangled in alcohol, like with abusing it hard. So on a day-to-day basis before I got sober, sometimes even I had a drink in the morning, then I went to work. I struggled through work, and right after work, like 5 minutes after work, I would get a drink. I would get home, get a 6-pack, drink that down. Then I would have like band practices, drink there. At my leisure time, when I was watching TV or some YouTube videos, I would drink then. Everything was entangled in alcohol. So I tried to cut out as many of those things as possible. So all of my friends, all my leisure activities, I quit making music. And obviously I couldn't stop working, so I left that one in, but I tried not to drink alcohol while I was working. I had enough faith in myself that I could like manage with one thing. And I did. The other interesting thing that I actually found out about the cravings was food and serotonin. And let me explain a little bit further. Basically, what this means is alcohol cravings, they don't only come from weak self-control, but poor diet and lack of endorphins. And endorphins are like these happy hormones that you get when you eat like good foods, enjoy yourself, or when you exercise. So after doing some research, I found out that you need to eat food that have like high amounts of B6 in it. So chickpeas, bananas, avocados, incorporate those into your diet and you'll feel great. At least a little bit better. Also, what I mentioned before that create these endorphins is exercise. Even if your mood is bad, which I think it might be in the early days, and I think it actually definitely is. So just do some push-ups, go for a run, go for a walk. I guarantee you, you will feel better. So the timeline for these cravings is about 0 to 2 months, and then they gradually start getting lower. They still exist in some part of this alcoholic universe, but they go away slightly. For me, they completely disappeared somewhere in the 8-month mark, I think. So that is something to look forward to. Now, finally, it's nighttime and you think you can go to bed and just get like a decent amount of good sleep, right?
Wrong.
Wrong? Why? I'm sorry, but I might have to burst your bubble here. This actually might sound like a little bit confusing because every quitting drinking video out there in the YouTube universe tells you that you are going to sleep better when you quit alcohol. So am I sleeping better right now? Yes, I am. Thanks for asking. And will you sleep better? Nope, you won't. So get it? It's really confusing. Confusion. The point I'm trying to make here is when you mix this early anxiety with cravings and trying to actually get sober, it's really hard to get this decent rhythm going. You probably have been dosing yourself to sleep with alcohol for a really long time. I'm not judging you, I just think I know this because I was dosing myself to sleep like for years. It actually was like 10 years or even more. Crazy. Like I even had like a bottle of alcohol right beside my bed every night so I could drink it while I was sleeping. I told this story in my 6-month sober video, so if you want to, go check it out. It might seem like you are getting like a decent amount of sleep when you drink alcohol before bedtime, but actually it really disrupts your rhythm of sleep. So you haven't been getting any decent amount of rest for a long time. So I looked in my journal and it took about, I think, 2 to 3 weeks when I started to get like this decent amount of sleep. So hang in there, it's really worth it. And for this really, really good deep sleep, it takes about 2 or 2.5 months. And if you have been drinking for such a long time, like me, then this amount of sleep and this good deep sleep, it's just incredible. I can't even describe it. You wake up so relaxed and rested and you are ready for a new day. So let's move on to the next one. Alongside with daily, hourly, and even weekly cravings, in the beginning, it will infuse with anger and restlessness. What joyful times. This is a tough one because you actually can't make it go away as fast as you would like to, and you just need to take it under your control. So according to my, you guessed it, journal, when someone asked me something and I would get like angry or agitated or something, I wouldn't answer them immediately. I would go like vent or think about it and answer later. I would actually ask people or the people I was working with, like if they would give me some time to think about things, and they usually agreed. Because I actually didn't want to mention to them that I was struggling with alcoholism or something, it was kind of an embarrassing topic for me. Making fast decisions and answering important questions really made me stressed out, and I didn't want that annoying pressure on me, at least in the early days. So anyways, ask people if you can have time. It's a lot more easier when you live with someone, if you're living with your family, your girlfriend or boyfriend, or with even your friends, because they are someone you trust and you can tell them that you are going through this and they will give you time, if they're good friends. Also with this one, there's a little thing that actually helped me. I don't know if it's like scientific or anything, but I really enjoy tea. It's my little pet peeve, I guess. It really does calm me down. So if it worked for me, it might work for you. So moving on to the next one. This might surprise you, but when I was going through my journal, the main thing that was consistent throughout all these first few months, lack of focus, fatigue, and brain fog. And this really bummed me out. As a person, I really like to take deep dives into things, and I actually take a lot of pride in it. But it turned out alcohol had f***ed up my brain so much that I couldn't focus on anything anymore. This fortunately didn't last long. Like the first part of it, it lasted about 2 to 3 weeks. And the bigger part that I'm going to talk about later lasted about 3 months. So the topic on focusing overall is a big and massive topic, and we can't go through it in this video. If you want to check out how to focus better, you can check out my other videos on my channel. But on this small topic, I think there's like a broader problem with ex-drinkers. One of them being with ex-drinkers is people who like to drink, they like to chase these short-term gains rather than long ones. The best like mini advice I can give you without the video being like 50 minutes long is that whatever you are doing currently or you're planning to do in the future, divide those things into sections. Also keep your workplace as clean as possible so you don't have a lot of these distractions laying around. And one more thing, whatever you want to achieve or you want to do, be as specific as you can and write them down, maybe in your journal. A bonus point for people who actually begin to stop drinking is don't make your work really intense. Divide those sections into like 30 minutes or even less, so you won't get stressed out and you won't get these massive cravings all of the time. Just make whatever you're doing enjoyable and achievable. After a while, like 2 or 3 weeks, you will slowly start to gain your focus again. The other thing I mentioned in this topic was fatigue and brain fog. This happens up to like 2 months, and I need to get a little bit sciencey to explain this. So every time you drink, or you drank, I hope, you get like this rush of energy. And this actually isn't like a placebo effect. By drinking alcohol on a regular basis, you start to change the structure of your brain. And yeah, this really happens. And the really weird fact is that the more you drink, the more your brain actually shrinks. So this makes it really hard to think and focus. What actually happens is this alcohol molecule, this one, goes through your system and is broken down to acetate. This is used by the brain as an alternative energy source, what usually is glucose. So when you constantly drink, this acetate molecule becomes the preferred choice of energy rather than glucose. And so now when you suddenly quit drinking, your brain doesn't know where to find energy anymore. And it takes some time before your brain realizes that it can get this energy from glucose again. So give it time. And overall, this is why you actually feel fatigued and exhausted. So be patient, get some rest, and you will have some energy again. One more thing about this topic is that life isn't about instant gratification as alcohol is. Life is a long game, like literally. People live like up to 100 these days, and I suppose that's the long game, and you would want to be healthy if you're like 100 years old. It really does sound like a long game to me. Before moving on to the last one, I would really like to say thanks for being here, and I really appreciate it. And it really goes a long way if you like the video, especially if you find this helpful. You can also support the channel by buying me a coffee or supporting me through my PayPal, or the links are in the description below, so this helps me create more videos. So thank you. So last but not least, what lasts the longest, and what I actually found in my journal, is purpose. This ties everything together like a linchpin, and without it, everything basically falls apart. I had so many times when I felt this, and this actually isn't like in the early days. This happened for me the first time like at 4 months or 5 months. I really started to question, why am I doing this? Because when time progressed, I kind of forgot the bad things that had happened, and I remembered the good times I had with my friends when I was drinking alcohol. So basically, it all happens after the pink cloud effect. And if you want to know what the pink cloud effect is, then you can, again, go check out my 6-month sober video. But the main point I'm trying to make with this topic is write down your purpose, why you are doing it. And actually, it really helps if you can record the video like I'm doing right now. Just make it for yourself and really talk into the camera and reflect on why you are doing it and what actually made you suffer. So each time you are getting this purpose crisis, you can watch the video and you'll get like a reality check. So anyways, by now you might have noticed what's in common with all of these topics. Drum roll. Yes, I found all of my solutions in my journal. This is the thing I highly suggest everyone do, whether you want to get sober or you just want to succeed in life. Take your life into your own hands, like literally. Just grab a pencil and a paper or a journal and begin to make plans for your life. So if you want to know how to journal, then go watch this video where I described it in a fun way with nice edits. So again, thanks for liking this video, and I'll see you over there. Peace.